You know what he's saying in his life? There's ripples in time. If one thing occurs, something might follow, and something might follow after that. So when the original Sheik was dominating most of the 60s and 70s as one of the top hardcore wrestlers of all time, he mentored his nephew Sabu. But later on, he and Sabu mentored this guy, trained him, and turned him in probably one of the most popular and the most influential American wrestlers of all time, because he had aspects of lucha libre, had aspects of gymnastics, a great battler, hardcore, and everything he does in the ring, it's all about RVD. So today we'll be talking about the legend of Robert Alexander Satkowski. I can't even pronounce it. Satkowski, Rob Van Dam. Now born December 18, 1970. Hard to believe he's only 53 in Battle Creek, Michigan, because the majority of his heavy career was his late 20s and early 30s. He's better known by his ring name, Rob Van Dam, frequently abbreviated to RVD. Best known for his tenures in Extreme Championship Wrestling, the World Wrestling Entertainment, and Total Nonstop Action, TNA. He is basically, again, a top 10 most popular wrestler of all time. Even when he was a heel, people didn't hate him. He gained mainstream popularity in ECW during the latter half of the 1990s. During his time in the Extreme Federation, he was managed by Fonzie, Bel Alfonso, and had feuds with Jerry Lynn and Sabu, also formed a tag team with the latter. They won the ECW World Tag Team Championship twice. On April 4th, 1998, Van Dam defeated Bam Bam Bigelow to win the ECW Television Championship, a title he held for 700 days until he vacated the title due to an injury on March 4, 2000. When ECW closed in 2001, he signed a contract with WWF, now WWE, and was involved in the Invasion storyline, where several former WCW and ECW wrestlers joined forces against WWF wrestlers. Of course, Vince McMahon bought the WCW in bankruptcy in 2001. After the Invasion ended, Van Dam wrestled the following years as singles and tag team participants, winning the WWE Hardcore Championship, the WWE Intercontinental Championship, the WWE European Championship, the WWE Tag Team title, and the World Tag Team title. At WrestleMania 22, Rob Van Dam won the Money in the Bank ladder match. After this victory, he challenged WWE Champion John Cena to a title match at a one-night stand in the ECW-themed pay-per-view, and of course the famous chant, "If Cena wins, we riot." At the event, Van Dam defeated Cena and won his first world title. 2 days later, well, some people think the TV championship was a world title. I tend to agree. 2 days later, Heyman awarded Van Dam with the reactivated ECW World Heavyweight title, making him the only man to hold both titles at the same time. Now, after leaving WWE in 2007, Van Dam worked on the independent circuit until he signed a contract with TNA in 2010. A few months after his debut, he defeated AJ Styles to win the TNA World title. He would also appear in Lucha Libre AAA and challenged Dr. Wanger Jr. for the newly created AAA Latin American title at Triple Mania 19, albeit a losing effort. He remained under contract with TNA until 2013, leaving the company after a run with the TNA X Division title. After departing TNA, he returned to WWE and where he worked for 1 year. Then he would stay in the independent circuit, wrestling from 19 to 20 with TNA, at the time known as Impact Wrestling. In 2021, he was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, and the following year he was inducted into the Hardcore Hall of Fame. Between ECW, WWE, and TNA, Van Dam won 21 total titles, including 3 World Championships, 4 if you count the TV belt, as the only one of 2 wrestlers in history, alongside Bobby Lashley, to have held the WWE, ECW, and TNA World title. In addition, he headlined many pay-per-view events during 3 decades, between the 90s and 2010s, including the 1998 edition of November to Remember, ECW's flagship event, and the 2011 edition of Triple Mania, which was AAA's major event. In 2002, Van Dam was ranked the #1 pro wrestler in the world by Team PWI. He was also voted the most popular wrestler by readers of the magazine in 2001 and 2002. And WWE named him the greatest star in ECW history in 2014. Now, he has been an actor for a number of TV shows as well, mostly, X-Files and some horror movies. Now, growing up in Battle Creek, Michigan, he graduated from Pennyfield Senior High School. Zatkowski made his first appearance on WWF television In 87, a skit with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. At the time, DiBiase was selecting plans for the audience and offering to pay them to perform degrading acts, and offered a 16-year-old Van Damme $100 to enter the ring and kiss his foot, which he did. The early appearance was later included as a bonus feature on WWE's Before There Were Superstars and the Rob Van Dam, DVD. Now, what's kind of interesting about this, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go all his major career, but some of the weird situation he was in before he ended up in ECW. Now, he made his wrestling debut in 1990, defeating Dango Wynn. He wrestled in many independent promotions across Michigan, including USWA and South Atlantic Pro Wrestling. In SAPW, he won his first title, the SAPW Tag Team title, in July 92 with Chaz Rocco. He also wrestled in several independent promotions across America and in All Japan, where he challenged for the World Junior Heavyweight title on numerous occasions. In the WWF in 92, he wrestled as an enhancement talent against the Mountie under a ring name Matt Byrne. Now, Van Dam signed with the WCW in 92 and was dubbed Robbie V by Booker Ron Slinker upon his arrival, since Bill Watts did not like the name Rob Van Dam. Robbie V made his WCW debut on January 23rd, 93 as a fan favorite, defeating enhancement talent Pat Rose. The following month, Robbie V entered a tournament for the World Television Championship, defeating Shanghai Pierce in the first round, but losing to Vinny Vegas, Kevin Nash, in the second round, which aired on the March 20th episode of WCW Worldwide. His last televised match was on a May 22nd episode of Saturday Night, a tag team loss with Eric Watts against Shanghai Pierce and Tex Slazenger. He left WCW in May 93, shortly after Ole Anderson replaced Bill Watts as Booker, filling his loss in the shuffle. Now, he made multiple tours in All Japan before heading over to ECW. Now, it's countless feuds, countless success, but he became kind of an underground sensation, ladies and gentlemen. The idea what Rob Van Dam put together had a lot to do with the popularity of that style of wrestling at the time. Like, he didn't use bloodletting, but using, jumping off the top rope, using, a chair, putting it all together. Because Sabu trained him, but Sabu's style is a little bit more violent, and Rob Van Dam has a little bit more talent than Sabu. But what the Sheik had taught both of them, to basically grab your audience and give them something that not only they're expecting, but something that everybody wants to see towards the end of the match. Of course, the Rob Van Dam splash. Now, numerous titles in throughout TNA, WWE, and ECW, and basically just a very, very interesting way to put together. I also spent some time in Pro Wrestling Noah for a while too. Now, the name Rob Van Dam, for obvious reasons, Jean-Claude Van Damme, was given him in 92 by Ron Slinker, a promoter in Florida, possibly because of his martial arts experience and his resemblance to actor Jean-Claude Van Damme. During the earlier years of his career, he used a moonsault split as finisher, and he adopted the Frog Splash, which has been renamed the 5-Star Frog Splash, as finisher. During a WWE Hall of Fame ceremony in 2021, WWE's chairman Vince McMahon and Triple H said they had changed the style of wrestling. Now, a big proponent of a lot of things. He's also a big advocate for the legalization of cannabis. Unfortunately, when he and Sabu got busted for speeding, they were caught for marijuana Viking, and was eventually, fired by WWE. But of course, he came back. Now, the different federations he's been involved with: All Action Wrestling, All Star Wrestling, American Wrestling Rampage, Battle Championship Wrestling, Extreme Championships Wrestling, an International Wrestling Federation, National Wrestling Council, No Limits, Over the Top, Pacific Coast, Peach State Wrestling, South Atlantic Pro Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action, World Stars of Wrestling, WWE or WWF. Now, the another thing about Rob Van Dam, his tights or his singlet is well known as well. Very, very nice design. The only thing I compare with Ric Flair's different robes or ravishing Rick Rude's different painted on pants and stuff like that. But Rob Van Dam, I was first made well aware. It was a daughter of one of our workers at a newspaper in Campbellton was doing the flyers. I knew a little bit of Rob Van Dam, but I knew him as Robbie V. And it became, Monday night, Van Dam, Van Dam Monday. He made Monday Night Special. But ladies and gentlemen, from his tenure in ECW in the late 90s to his time in WWE, which was almost a decade, he was the second most popular wrestler in the world behind Ric Flair. And I know you're saying, why is Ric Flair popular? Because a lot of people in Canada, worldwide, because Bret Hart was pretty well retired after the situation with Goldberg, him and Ric Flair still had that Q factor that a lot of people don't have. But Rob Van Dam, for an 8-minute match, he's like Bret Hart. He does the same things in every match. You don't see anything different. But he's very good shape. But the fact is, he's wrestled, ladies and gentlemen, it's got to be well over 30 years, and he's still keeping himself in good shape. I don't know of any major injuries he suffered, so you never know on an independent location you're going to see him. But ECW on TNN, boys, ladies and gentlemen, even it was taped highlights. So many good matches against Sabu and different wrestlers. There's too countless to mention. And like I said, Rob Van Dam, the finger, the two hands of Rob Van Dam, the crowd, he's over like dinner, ladies and gentlemen. To put it this way, in using Canadian vernacular, he's like craft dinner to Canadians. Everybody loves craft dinner. So he's the craft dinner of wrestlers. You put a little bit of wieners too, depending on the color of his singlet. But there's no way in the world that wrestling could be as successful as it has been in the last 20 years were it not for Rob Van Dam, because a little bit of lucha libre, a little bit of hardcore, the TNN style, the ECW style, the TNA style. Not really a WWE wrestler per se, because he's over. You can't make him a heel. It's impossible. So if he turns crazy like Drew McIntyre, you can't do that with Rob Van Dam. So ladies and gentlemen, that's a little bit of a story of Rob Van Dam. Not everything, but a kind of a primer. The Kool-Aid version, just add water. But all the YouTube show. And ladies and gentlemen, go, oh my God, the Joey Styles calls of his matches, go check it out. You'll be glad you did. So again, Sheik, Sabu, Rob Van Dam. Nothing better than that. Have a good one. Bye.